Welcome. You want to press X so we can get the next screen here? Because I want to see my grade. I killed that stray dog in
timer's still going.
Record time.
The timer was still going.
S rank.
S rank.
S rank.
Way to go, Sam. Thank you.
Did it. Killed the stray dog.
Put that dog down.
Put that doggy down. Yeah, so now Travis is playing, and I'm just done with it. I'm just done with it.
Scenario. Maybe that's like a main mission.
Yeah, don't go in there because that's
just...
where I was. So I was in there in the last episode, and I was dying. Like I was losing a lot. Those guys were really tough.
This mission seems like it fits with my humor. It's how dare you, noob goddess?
Noob goddess.
Is that like a noob, like a loser, or like a Nubian goddess?
It's both. It can be both. It's an open. This is a diverse text that can
how
be. How
dare you, Nubian goddess?
Now this is funny because didn't you cut out a similar joke a couple episodes back?
No, I don't think I cut it out. I don't think I cut it out. I think we said it before we started recording, and so it wasn't part of the show.
Well, now everyone's in on the Nubian Queen. No, I was about to say, yeah.
Oh, good, it's here again.
This, I guess, like that scenario was full of monsters that were just too tough for us, so I just went to the next one, and it was a lot easier. Well, that's where you use the monster call, dude.
Oh, should I use it?
You should.
How do I?
R2, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. Here's something we can talk about. Yesterday, Travis and I and a friend of ours went to see Hatsune Miku at Miku Expert. We're Miku experts, and we saw Hatsune Miku in concert at Miku Expo.
Sam's a Miku expert, and me too.
Yeah. Ask me anything about Hatsune Miku. I'll definitely give you an answer.
Oh, I hit defend. I shouldn't have done that.
No. What is a Cleon?
Clion? Is that like is that like Fion? Like the Pokemon?
Oh, it kind of looks like Fion.
It is. It does look like a reference, although it also looks like a fetus.
So we saw Hatsune Miku yesterday. It was like Anamanaguchi was the opening act, and they were really cool. I really liked them. I hadn't listened to them since like high school.
Same here. I used to use their music in like videos I would make.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So
I mean, they were a big splash like 6 years ago because, or more than 6 years ago, like 8 years ago, because they were the first band I think to majorly use that kind of chiptune sound mixed with their instruments.
Yeah.
Before that, I can't really think of any examples of people who did both like playing live and chiptunes. But they were awesome. I actually am gonna buy some albums now.
They had some light effects that I fear could have been a little epileptic.
The big pipes they had on the side that were just flashing with all their songs.
Flashing colors really fast. I feel like I'm surprised people weren't having seizures.
I mean, I'll be honest, the whole, it was an open seating venue, and there was kind of like 3 levels of mosh pit that we were allowed to be in. There was the front level that we were not in. There was a secondary level that we stood in that was slightly behind that, a little more relaxed. And then way in the back, there were the people who were just like sipping on drinks, watching the show from the back.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminded me of like a rave at an anime convention, where it's just like loud music, lots of lights, and it's not typical music, but like definitely stuff you could dance to.
Mm-hmm. Now, it was interesting. I don't go to very many concerts, as I said, and I almost feel like that's one of those things that, similar to going to, I saw the Pillows when I was in the band from Fooly Cooley when I was in New York, and that was great too, but I listen to music kind of like just on my own, and it's almost more fun to consider it like a thing that I've checked off of, like, I've done one of the cool nerd things that I wanted to do since high school is see Hatsune Miku in concert.
Yeah.
You know? So, even though, you know, it's kind of hard to actually hear when it's so loud.
And like the music in many ways sounded better, like, you know, coming out of your headphones.
Yeah.
In some of the songs, she kind of sounded a little pitched up. Like, I turned to you in the middle of one of the songs and said that Hatsune Miku sounded a little bit like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Is I remember in high school thinking like this is something I want to do.
Well, I remember because the first U.S. concert was in 2011, I think, which would have been your first year of college, and it was that Anime Expo, I think, where they had a concert for. And I knew some people who went, and I was really jealous. I was like, man, I'll never get a chance to do this ever again.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was a one-time thing that was not coming back, and so I was very happy to
have
get
the
a chance to do it again.
Yeah, and it was. I don't like. There's something about going to those kind of nerd events where, or maybe not nerd events, but like the culture that you subscribe to events. That we weren't terribly social. Like we didn't make friends at this thing, but I felt like I was a part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of just cool to. Again, I relate it to last year. I went to the Anime Expo rave, and I am so not the kind of person to go to that.
Yeah.
But just like participating and dancing around and like looking like an idiot with a bunch of strangers, it felt like good.
Yeah.
And I kind of got into it at Miku Expo. I was kind of
you were having fun.
I was having fun.
I had fun too, just in my own way.
Yeah.
I was quietly standing in the corner staring. That's how I enjoy concerts.
Sure, and there's nothing. There's a contrast between us, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It kind of reminded me, like, Vocaloid is this weird thing that I kind of have this on-again, off-again infatuation with, where it's like I'll be way into it, and then I'll just kind of drop it without reservation.
Yeah, we talked about this a bit because it was our friend didn't really know anything about it at all, and, and we were kind of trying to explain like what it is, and it's hard because there's not like a central thing that is the source of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It all just kind of comes from the culture. It's whatever Sega, I guess, decides to kind of promote as official Miku things, but there's no, like, there is a game, but I feel like the game is more just a reflection of what's already there.
Yeah, it's there's no story to latch onto the characters with.
There's no anime, there's nothing that it was originally other than a software. So it's hard to convey why anybody really likes it other than the music's good, but then people get attached to the character and the costumes
and I don't really know who determines the characters. Like, it might just be something that, like, through what Sega does and how they portray them. But, like, the one example I'm thinking of is Kaito, the male Vocaloid with the blue hair.
Yeah.
Kaito likes ice cream.
Yeah.
It's something that we all know to be true. I don't know where that came from.
So I think what happens, at least from that kind of stuff, is that I know, because Yamaha makes the software. I think Sega is the one in charge of the characters as far as their promotion and their, distribution, and the games are all Sega games, and figures are all made by Sega. I am certain the concert was run by Sega.
Definitely.
I think they decide when they decide to market like a new character, like how they're going to portray them and what their deal is going to be. Because if you go to the Hatsune Miku website, or like the official page for Vocaloid, it'll give you all of her information. It's like, here's what she likes, here's her age, here are her sizes. It's all there for you. And I think that's just stuff that they decide at Sega. Whenever they have to introduce a new character. And so I'm sure when Kaito and Mako were released, they just came up with new stats for them too.
And the fans really latch onto them.
Yeah, like, I mean, there are these, like I said, costumes are a big deal because there are these series of costumes that are all attached to specific songs. And I don't know if it's that Sega like contracts people to write songs for them, or if they just like hear a song that they know is good and then they decide to like make that an official.
They license it or something.
Yeah, because I think probably all the songs we heard were from the games.
Yeah.
But the games are all just songs from different artists in the same way that like Dance Dance Revolution is just a bunch of different artists.
Yeah.
They just happen to all use Vocaloid software in them. But I don't know if that's Sega paying them to write the songs, or if it's they wrote the songs and then Sega likes them and then puts them in the game.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Because the one song that I liked the most that they played was this kind of dubsteppy song.
Yeah, that was the
Glass Door.
Glass
and
Door.
everybody should listen to Glass Door. It's a great song.
Great-ass song.
That song was written, I think, by like an Irish guy. And it's in English.
Yeah.
And I was reading about it, and he was like, yeah, I wrote this song for like my girlfriend because... we were in a long distance relationship, and I wanted to write a song about like what it's like to be in a relationship with somebody over Skype. And the song is about like, I love you through the pixels.
Yeah.
And you're 2 inches away but so far away, things like that.
Yeah.
And and it's a Hatsune Miku song, and I don't think Sega paid him to make it.
It works for when Miku sings it. Like,
Definitely, it makes sense when she sings it because it kind of fits in the theme.
yeah.
And I guess Sega liked it enough that they contracted it, and I think it was even played at like a Lady Gaga concert.
Really?
Yeah, like that's somehow how it got noticed. I guess.
Hatsune Miku's getting around.
And then I downloaded the album that it was on, and it was really weird because it was the only even acceptable quality song on that album.
Really?
Every other song on that album was pretty garbage.
Because you linked me to it, and it was on Bandcamp, and it was pretty cheap.
It was $1 for the whole album.
Yeah.
Or you could buy each song individually also for $1.
Yeah.
So I just bought the whole album because it was, why not? And I was like, I don't need any of this because none of it is good. What is that?
That's the boss, dude.
It's like a bat demon.
Yeah. He's ready to take you on.
Okay, well, Compa better heal herself.
But yeah, it's funny that, like, Hatsune Miku is, or Vocaloids in general, really, it's something that I realize. Hell's Lord is the name of this thing, by the way. This is Hell's Lord. This is Satan. This is the devil.
Well, we're beating him on like one of the first levels. So.
Yeah. So I mean, this game scales.
Where does it go from here? Who knows? That's the adventure.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
But Hatsune Miku and the Vocaloid stuff. Again, it's weird because I don't feel like I really celebrate it with people. You actually got me into Vocaloid. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't. I don't.
In
what did
high
I show
school,
you?
you gave me some music, and some of it was Vocaloid. And before then, I really just didn't pay it any mind. Because I had seen, like, the leak spin thing, and that was about it. And I didn't really care. Why isn't Compa healing herself?
What's that little symbol on her? Is she
Is that symbol like, hey, I'm not going to heal myself?
I don't know what
That
it
might be a
means.
debuff that's like, hey, I'm not going to heal myself.
I don't know. I broke his guard, so maybe that'll help.
So guard break is kind of weird because, see, that meter's filling up. Like, you're rewarded for skipping animation.
Yeah. You want to go as fast as possible.
Yeah.
That's weird. Heal.
I think that thing must be preventing her from healing.
I guess. At least he's not attacking her.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
And now she's got it paralyzed.
Oh, we're gonna get him soon. Oh no, she's healing. So why is Compa not healing? Compa, what's your deal?
Well, she'll heal on her turn, I think.
Oh, okay.
If she's gonna heal.
Well, hopefully we'll get him. Anyway, what were you saying?
You introduced me to Hatsune Miku, and so I've always enjoyed it in a very private way.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh, goodbye, Compa. My baby bunny let me down.
Bye bye, bunny.
Bye bye, bunny. And so it was really exciting to just
It's like paralyzed. It's like sometimes she doesn't attack.
oh, weird. You almost beat him. It was really exciting just to be in a crowd, like a room full of people who all liked the same thing. Much like going to an anime convention, you kind of, even though they were all strangers, you kind of felt like you were all friends in that room.
Yeah, I guess. It was definitely more... I've been to a few concerts where I'm like, this is not a friendly environment, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable around these people. Definitely seeing Leonard Skinner was a little bit like that.
Yeah, that was odd. We saw that together, and that was very odd.
Didn't know there were so many Confederate Hicks in the Bay Area.
Yeah. I was really like, oh man, I like Freebird, and then the Confederate flag comes up, and I'm just like, well, hang on.
I mean, those are the people who treat that as like that's not the Confederate flag, that's the Dukes of Hazzard flag.
Right.
I don't think. Anyway, Vocaloid, yeah, I mean, I don't remember really how I got into it either.
Do you have any Vocaloid figures? I do.
I have one. I have actually one based on the first PSP game.
Okay.
I bought it in Japantown, or actually Little Tokyo in LA.
Uh-huh.
And when I went down there to check out schools, that's it. I'm actually not as into the overall. I'm kind of like you in that I like some of the songs, but I never got into like the Vocaloid as a deal, you know, and
I mean, that's the weird thing is, I find myself bumping into it, is that, again, yeah, I like the music, and I like the character designs, but whenever I start kind of investing myself into Vocaloid, I pretty quickly realize there's not too much to chew on besides the music, and maybe that's all there needs to be.
Maybe.
But like, I feel like the people who are cosplaying and dressing up, I feel like they know something I don't. Or
Yeah,
something.
and the funny thing is about all the music is that it's all treated as Hatsune Miku music, even though it's created by like professional artists, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the weird thing is that even if you enjoy the music, I don't know how to get more of the music that I like.
Yeah,
you know, because
just because it's Hatsune Miku doesn't mean
it doesn't mean anything. It's like an instrument, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I like, you know, the flute. Well, good luck.
This is evidenced by if you want to really make yourself cry, give yourself a little YouTube search and look for Hatsune Miku sings Hatikva, the Israeli national anthem. And if you want to make me very upset, you play that. It's real. Somebody has Hatsune Miku singing in Hebrew with a Japanese accent.
It's
It's
bizarre.
bizarre.
Why does it make you cry?
Because the song of my people, dude. No, it's because it's really cringeworthy. Like it's
okay.
worlds colliding in a way that like does not make me comfortable.
I see.
It's somebody out there thought of this and thought we got to make this available for everyone to consume.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of... Because, again, anybody can make music with it, so there's a lot of stuff that people do where they'll make, like, anime openings using Hatsune Miku.
Right.
They'll redo them.
I mean, Black Rock Shooter, right? Is the
Or
prime
I see they'll,
example.
like, dub things over with Hatsune Miku. Like,
Oh,
they'll
really?
replace the vocals with Hatsune Miku.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like the Nico Nico stuff.
Yeah, or I've just seen videos on YouTube of just, like, here's the opening to Tokyo Ghoul, but with Hatsune Miku singing it.
Some people really like the sound of her voice. Like, I know we have a mutual friend who does not like Hatsune Miku because it sounds too robotic.
Because it is basically just like a music version of Microsoft Sam.
I mean,
you know?
I told you that one thing that really does not work for me is when Vocaloids try to speak. Like,
Yeah.
try to talk
in sentences.
in sentences without singing. And it happened in the concert yesterday, and it just sounded like The Voter, which was the 1940s, like, first speaking computer.
I can probably put in a clip of that.
Please do, because it's amazing.
Okay.
But
It's these guys.
yeah, look out for the weeping grass.
Hope Kampa heals herself.
I hope so.
gonna
Kampa,
do-
what's going on? Girl, you feeling okay?
I know it's hard, but you know.
That grass got me down too, but you gotta pick up the pace.
Well,
Do you have a favorite Vocaloid?
as far as voice goes, I think Luca sounds the best.
Luca's pretty good.
My favorite character might be Mako.
Mako? Okay.
Yeah, because I like the short hair.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's all.
You don't like
that's
the
all-
twins? You don't like Len and Rin?
They're okay. They look a little too like prepubescent to me.
It's fair. They're the youngest. I made a lot of noise about it yesterday, and when the song played, I let it known that that the best Vocaloid had arrived on stage. My favorite Vocaloid is Kaito, and he's also the coolest looking. And I think that's just because I like the songs that they usually have Kaito singing.
He's kind of got that, like you said, it's Victorian, like.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's like Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah, he
It's-
is.
I mean, Miku's cool. I think Luca would be my favorite, the second favorite Vocaloid. But Kaito, like, all the songs are very, like,
Mind if you count on me next time?
they're not as electronic, I guess.
I think it's the newest versions of Vocaloid. Like,
Yeah.
so probably the software's a little better.
Well, so his voice sounds a little less electronic, but I'm thinking, like, Snowman, the song they played in the concert, it's got, like, an accordion in it. Or, like,
Yeah.
the Cantarella is, like, all Victorian and violins. There's another one that he sings that's, like, called Fable or Folklore or something, and it's got an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of, I think the default for most Vocaloid songs is kind of electronic.
Yeah, and also very poppy and
Yeah.
cutesy, and I don't think that works for either Mako or Kaito. I think their deal was trying to be a little bit more serious.
There's a really good song from the second Project Diva F2,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, F2nd. That's Mako and Kaito doing a duet, and it's very, like, Japanese sounding.
Oh, cool.
I'll play it for you between episodes.
There was one song from Rin, I think, that I was sad they didn't do. That it was like she was playing a shamisen, like a rock song.
Yeah,
shamisen.
that's one with that's my favorite song from the first game. It's the two twins singing together.
Were they both in it? I thought it was maybe
Yeah.
just her, but
I'm pretty sure it's both of them.
okay, I don't really remember.
It's the one that you Is it Fire? No, it's the one that you unlock after Fire Flower, but we're not going to be helpful because I don't know what the name of that song was.
Well, this has been a fascinating topic. If you, I mean, these concerts sell out really quickly.
Yeah, it was actually, I don't want to go into our circumstances too much, but like the concert had been sold out for months.
And we were able to
get
do
a
some
ticket last
backdoor shady deals
Yeah.
and get ourselves 4 tickets.
Yeah.
And not have to pay for them. So.
You didn't have to say that, but
Well,
yeah.
if you have a chance to go, ooh, what is that? Oh, we're
Everybody,
poisoned.
oh, jeez.
Okay. Great.
Only Neptune's poison.
Okay, well, at least.
And what's her name's gonna heal Neptune?
they're healing all of us.
Good.
It's great. So
If you-
yeah, if you have a chance to go, I mean, it's interesting. Even if you don't particularly like it, I mean, I hadn't listened to Hatsune Miku in a very long time, and it was still enjoyable.
Yeah.
And from an animation perspective too, it's fun to see something because the projection is interesting because it is so lifelike as far as the human motion goes, but it's also got this weird conflict with the face being really fake.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't mind going a little bit over to keep talking about
Okay,
this, just
sure.
because you actually, on the way back, as we all know, Travis is an animator, and he was pointing out some of the cool stuff of watching you said it was almost definitely motion capture.
I can't imagine. It was motion capture that they probably did a bunch of adjustments to just to make it, because motion capture can be a little finicky.
Yeah.
As far as like, if you watch a lot of game animation, like the feet phase through the floor, and like, it just isn't always perfect. But I think they did an excellent job of really giving it human-like motion with natural movements. But there are funny things about like how Hatsune Miku's hair was probably not designed with her actually dancing in mind.
Yeah, there were a couple songs where she would brush her hand through her hair, and it
kind of like looped over like a big wet sausage.
yeah, it like physicsed around, and like it was very weird.
Yeah. But it was funny because the whole thing was I think rendered at something like 100 frames per second, crazy to just be as realistic as possible. And so it really did seem like, you know, you don't see renderings that rich usually in anything, so it's fun to see something that feels that real.
Yeah.
I guess. And it's not something that you'll ever be able to see in like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
So it's something that you can only see being there in person, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely really cool.
We got a new syringe.
Ooh. I think that's a new skill, but I'm not sure. You mentioned also that it was interesting to see the hands and the face were maybe not motion captured.
Well, because when you do motion capture, it's like joints and points of articulation, so your hand is almost too complicated to capture accurately, so usually that's something that you would animate separately.
Yeah.
At least in most cases. I'm sure nowadays there are definitely technology that lets you do that, but because a lot of face capture is a separate thing where they'll put a bunch of dots in your face, and
Right.
there's going to be like a camera capturing your face details.
Yeah.
Because it's an anime character, they didn't do that, obviously. They just had Hatsune Miku, and because of that, there's a contrast of the face feeling very lifeless, and also kind of, when the body moves, the head kind of just juts with the body, and so there's these moments where it's like the head just stops or goes really fast, and it's like a real human would not do that.
I hope it doesn't sound like we're being too critical, but I just think it's fascinating to hear this from somebody who kind of knows what goes into the product.
Yeah, and I like this. I liked it for that reason. Like I wasn't complaining. I was like, this
You're
is
burning daylight trap.
I was interested by this. I think did we do it? What's our mission? Oh, I
You
have to
gotta
beat
kill
3 more.
I guess before we sign out, I feel like we ought to pay homage to where Miku has interfaced with the American culture in a oddly major way. If you aren't familiar with it, you should check out the Hatsune Miku Domino's Pizza Japan app.
No.
Just Google that. There's a great YouTube commercial.
The CEO of Domino's.
The CEO of Domino's wants you to have fun with Miku.
And
I'm sure you already know about that.
And he looks just confounded.
Confounded and desperate. Travis, before recording, showed me when Hatsune Miku was on David Letterman.
Yeah.
And it was one of David Letterman's last shows, and you can just tell that
He was like, "This is I'm signing off, and the future is already starting." Like,
and maybe he doesn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
He does not look like. All right, that's fun.
In Japan, like it's a little bit more it's a little bit more open in culture. I remember I went to the zoo once and we saw a dolphin show, and the music they played at the dolphin show was Hatsune Miku music.
Sure.
So it's like, you see this stuff more commonly there. I mean,
Japan
US
is also more welcoming to the idea of mascots, whereas
yeah.
the U.S., like, I think many people just have the hang up of it's not a real person.
Yeah, I mean, and there are also people who see this as like a fulfillment of the artificial nature of pop music in general, where like, you know, pop stars, their music is written by their producers, their stages are all, their costumes are picked by the costume designers. It's all kind of, they're a character that is being put up with a facade of them being the artist when it's really just a corporate thing. And this is like the ultimate, you know, the ultimate corporate music thing. I mean, all of the musicians we saw on stage were Sega Corporation employees, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I do want to point out, though, that I thought that was really cool that there were musicians on stage.
yeah, it was a band, and what's really cool is that they ended with Anamanaguchi playing with Hatsune Miku.
Yeah.
As like the encore.
That was really cool.
That was great. So yeah, check it out if you get a chance. It's it's all over the country. I mean, it's going to like Austin. It's going to Toronto.
Wasn't there a car commercial that had
Toyota
had Miku?
was partnered with Hatsune Miku, and it was really bad.
Cool.
It was really bad.
Because I remember the video, the end of a commercial where it was just some like dude with a backwards baseball cap spinning a sign saying Hatsune Miku, Hatsune Miku, Hatsune Miku. That was it.
And I remember there was a video that was basically just like filmed on. Oh, I missed it.
We're not gonna transform.
I missed it on. It was like someone's iPhone or something, and they were just like this woman. Like Hatsune Miku fell asleep in a Toyota, and like the woman was like, "I can't get her out." Internet digital divas.
Yeah,
like, that was the commercial, and it was just like, "What? This is lazy. Come on."
Yeah. Well, I think that's all I can think of in terms of like when she made her way into the mainstream stuff.
There was also Google stuff too. I think Google had a commercial about it, but
oh yeah,
I don't know if that was in the U.S. Maybe it was just in Japan.
If you're a fan of Bee and Puppy Cat is voiced by a Vocaloid. I think it's which one's is it? Len is the boy twin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who's that?
Puppy Cat?
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
That's the Puppy Cat. If you want, it's a show called Bee and Puppy Cat.
Is it
two
a YouTube
characters.
thing?
Yeah, it's on Frederator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's our experience with Hatsune Miku. It was a lot of fun. I hope I get to do something like that again sometime.
I'm sure you will. Because again, Perfume is coming.
We should get tickets for that.
We should.
We should do that. If we, in fact, when recording is over, maybe we should do that.
Yeah, and I'll pay you back as soon as I can.
Oh, that's yeah.
That was my hang up, is that I need to just be able to pay for it.
I had forgotten.
But
visit our Patreon at www.
Click on all the ads. Click them many times. Tanner, that means you.
Yeah.
No, don't actually do that. You'll get us in trouble.
Okay. I think this is a good place to sign off.
Yeah, this is a long episode.
Compa don't die.
Compa don't die.